There we go. Let's try and get set in here. Come on down. Over maybe? There we go. I've actually got the chat in here too. Let's see. Good evening, everybody. We've had quite the bit of interesting weather. Yeah, it's been an interesting day. Hello, Michael's Trains. I'm gonna try and jump in here so I can actually see the comments this time instead of relying on my wife to do that. Oh, I'm gonna have to mute it, otherwise I'm gonna hear myself twice. Can you tell I'm new to this? Alright. Already got some folks coming in. I kind of told folks, oh, I forgot to jump in on the Instagram. I'm part of a group chat. They told me to jump in there and let them know when I was going live. Hopefully they can figure it out, because I don't know how to get to Instagram on my computer here. Whoa, there we go. There's a bunch more of you. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, been doing a bunch of work on the layout. If you hear steam engines chugging, and you don't see anything running, it's because in this wall, behind this wall upstairs, my son is playing with trains on the floor up there. He's like, Dad, let's do the live stream. Great. And then I get the live stream set up. Dad, I'm gonna go play trains. Like, oh, you mean like here? Like, no, upstairs. Oh, all right. I'm sure he'll come in and jump around and make silly faces. I did see one in here about the Rio Grande stuff. Yeah, so the Atlas Rio Grande cars. For folks that haven't seen or are familiar with the issue, apparently there are little capacitors that like to explode. Actually, if I have time, I might just grab it and show you. It may not show up in the video, maybe not. You can literally see, you know how like in like movies, someone gets shot and then you like, instead of seeing them go, you see like blood spray go up on the window to imply death. And that's what happened to this capacitor. It just sprayed capacitor fluid stuff on the window, and that was it. That's all she wrote. Storm prevented me from driving to Minneapolis to St. Louis today. Oh, there's a railroad of Minneapolis and St. Louis too. Well, I'm glad you're safe, Great Northern. Glad you're here with us tonight. What's up, folks? EM and IR Productions, Metro 161. Yes, I answered your question there. Hey, Gavin. Sorry, not Gavin. He's not. Well, let's be clear, folks. He's not Gavin. He's an imposter. He's a clone. Or maybe he's both. What trains are we running today? Well, right now on the line, we've got Frisco 1630. I've got my F3s in front of this nice line of streamliners. And then back there is Big Boy 4023. But thanks to all the work that I've been doing on the elevated line behind you, it's easier than ever to run out more stuff. I've also got 618, the Hebrew Creeper back there on a siding ready to roll. And I've also got Rio Grande, little green, ready to roll. Next to me in the shelves in here, I've got Santa Fe Super Chief that we could toss on. We ran Northern Pacific last time, so I don't think we need to do that again. I did oil, but still it's squeaking. That cab forward, kind of bummed about that. Can I have your 280? Sure. You can have the old one. I've got 324. It's an old TMCC. Those are pretty cheap to pick up, actually. It might be cheaper for you to get that than to try and diagnose the problems with my 324. That engine probably had circuit board damage at some point in its life, because it's kind of been dodgy. Hey, Jim Gam, the train man, is here. What's up, dude? It's a party now. Turn them on. Oh, you'd rather see trains run than talk to me. I get it. All right, let's. We're What are you guys doing for spring break? Oh, well, don't really have a spring break because my son's not in school. I guess he's in pre-K, but they don't really have a spring break per se, at least not at his. But yeah, the oh, will I run the T1? I see that Washington Railboy. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I've been wanting an excuse to run my T1 anyhow, so that might not be a bad idea. Oh, cool. Noah's got the UP auxiliary tenders in HO. It's half O. It's half as good. No, it's man. I tell you, I think if my son and I had gotten into trains earlier, then I think we probably would have done HO. Not earlier, later. Later, not earlier. No, earlier we're doing like Duplo and like play school. Oh, nice. My phone's all charged up for this, but it looks like I forgot to charge this thing. I might need to grab something for that, but in the meantime, I might just run some trains for you while I go and get those. Oh, hey. Hey, big boy. Yeah, trains. Who knew? Sheesh. Alrighty, up to 25. All right. Let's see. I have a Santa Fe 2882. Plan on making custom tender to make it look like the triplex. Huh. Like, you'd be putting like another set of moving wheels under the tender to make it look like the triplex? Or I guess I'm curious what you're planning to do with that. That's, never heard of that one before. That's cool. Who's the random guy in front of us? We want trains. Yes. Have an O-scale 2-rail Illinois Central boxcar. Didn't know it was 2-rail. So I have to convert it to 3-rail. So what all do you have to do? I've seen 2-rail stuff show up before, but I'm unfamiliar with what's different between them. I think something has to do with the wheels, like the flanges, like high rail stuff, and then obviously probably couplers then too. When are you coming to visit Charleston? Larkin's a little closer to Charleston than the secondhand overland. So yeah, probably not heading out that way anytime soon. I've got family on the East Coast, Northeast, that we're visiting this summer. And I've been to Pennsylvania twice. I went to York twice last year. Was not planning on doing it twice, but it kind of happened that way. Started in O, but went to HO for space issues. That totally makes sense because I just made a video about space issues with O-gauge trains. Well, I got stuff on. If I start running stuff, that'll give me enough time to grab a mobile charger to hook up to this thing so it doesn't die, because I kind of need it. So, all right, 4023 back there is already eager to roll. If he sounds a little different, it's because it is. I mean, Union Pacific was known for swapping tenders for stuff, and right now 4023 is running my Lion Chief tender from 3985 because I'm still running into wiring issues with the wireless tether, which is the most ironic problem in the world to have. It's a wireless tether, but the wires running to it fail. So, finally got the right whistle. That doesn't sound right to me. I'm used to doop with the big boy. My son can do a better big boy whistle than I can. And then next to you, you can't quite see him. Jeez, I'm gonna turn the volume down on that sucker. Got this nice set of streamliners, and then underneath the camera, supposedly you should be able to tell what train that is just from the whistle because they recorded it on site. I knew they were accurate, but I didn't realize the lengths that they went to make it accurate. Just got to replace the trucks and the couplers for 2-rail to 3-rail. Thank you. I meant to follow up on that and check. Oh, vehicle stuff. Earlier he asked about my Heisler. The Heisler is the newer version. They've actually released the Heislers 3 times, 4 if you count the upcoming one. They first came out in 2005 because all the cool new tooling came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they ran it again in 2015 with Legacy. And then they snuck in an extra Legacy run in 2016, Volume 2. And it came with its own logs and some little disconnect cars to pull behind it. And it's the only Legacy one, with the exception of the new ones coming out, that has whistle steam. I have no idea how they managed to cram Legacy, decent sound quality, all the running gear, and whistle steam inside the Heisler. I haven't opened it up. I probably won't open mine up. I'd rather just look for a photo of like an exploded view or something to see. But yeah, so it might be fun to run the Heisler up top if I change the view for you guys. Let's see. Please, rail fanning, Hot Wheels, Railroad. You said that in the last live stream, and like I pretended to know what you meant, and then I thought about it a little bit more, and I don't think I understand what you mean by rail fanning Hot Wheels Railroad. Like, we set up our Hot Wheels Railroad, and then we put like little cars on the side to like watch them go by? I don't know what you mean by that. If you got a better idea than that, please let me know. It could be fun. Show the Polar Express. I cannot show the Polar Express because it, like the rest of the Christmas decorations, are tucked underneath the layout, way in the back. So you can watch the videos I've made of it. I've done 2 iterations of videos on that. First when I built it, and second when I added the bell. The original bell I tried to put on there just was not working out, so I left it off through the whole season, and then quietly added it later. Favorite Southern locomotive? I like the Mountains. They've done a run of them in TMCC. They're doing another run of Mountains with this Volume 2 of 2024 catalog for Lionel, so that'll be fun. They preserved so many big boys, but not the first one, 4,000. Yeah, I don't think they were really interested in like which numbers specifically they saved. Although I am glad personally they saved 4006 because that big boy clocked in the most amount of miles of any big boy in revenue service. Now, 4014 has probably edged ahead of him slightly now that he's been doing excursion services the last 5 years. But yeah. How do I like how you do it like real life? Oh, well, we're not rail fanning Hot Wheels, we're rail fanning, which I guess we kind of do. There's not a whole lot to see other than some freight trains going by, but what's up? Yeah. Sorry, it's... Hang on, folks. Here we go. Oh, I still hung on to some folks, yay. Let's plug this in. Is it gonna charge it? Is it gonna? I don't know if it knows how. Maybe that won't work. How about this? I'll go find the right cord for it. And you guys can watch some trains go around. What did I miss? I wish I had commercials I could run. Actually, I don't. You guys see enough commercials on YouTube. 60s to 90s. Should you run your train? Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want. You can run your trains. Look above what one? What the? Oh, getting an Amtrak? Yeah. Nope. No, I've got a video we did on why I get what I get. Pretty much, if it's diesel, it has to have been running during some sort of steam era. So that overlap between steam and diesel, cool. Everything else after that, not as important. I mean, maybe we'll add some later, but it's kind of a nice way to limit things. Now the trick is, if I can get them all running and not bonk into each other. Hang on. How's my back from the snow? Oh gosh. Yeah. Maybe I mean, I guess I could try and run them while I go try and find that cord to be able to charge the thing, because it's not working. It thinks it's trying to charge itself from itself. That's not gonna fly. Okay. We'll do a couple laps and see if I can match speeds here. At least enough to give me some time. Everyone's like, oh, why don't you run this or run a loop of conventional? This is the loop, folks. This is all I have. I think 1630 needs to go a little quicker. He's going to get rear end. Should be good. What did I miss? A new book on sabotage city of San Francisco called Tragic Train. I've not heard of that before. That's cool. I'm going to run these for a minute while I try and find that cord to keep this thing charged up. What happened to Jack? Jack is right here. Here he is. Arf, arf. Right back. I'll just move it to a place where you can actually see trains. There we go. Ooh, that was a close one. 1630 is about to get himself wedged between Big Boy and the F3. So the F3 needs to go a little slower. 1630 has a good gap now. And they're going to try and keep up with comments. I should probably turn the volume down on these. Still too close. Woo! Yay buttons. Alright, let's see what I missed. What do I think of my Legacy 10-wheeler? I like it a lot. It's, I do wish the details on it were a little bit sharper. It feels like an older model. It feels like a consolidation. But no, it's pretty nice. It runs nice. It doesn't have a backup light on the tender, but those didn't anyways. So yeah, it's a good engine. Galaxy's Railways, the main train line is expired by Big Boy. Yes, Chris, I have seen that. Actually, I think the only reason I know about it is because of Optimus. I think he introduced that to me. Frisco going by here. Let's see what I missed. Lion Chief Union Pacific FT. I don't need to. I've got the Santa Fe FTs in the Super Chief. And the FTs look basically like an F3. So I'm good. I'm actually really impressed with these Lion Chief F3s. So much so that they made my top 5. They are nicely detailed. I mean, detailed enough. Although I just remembered why I couldn't renumber this one as 14. Because I use 14 for 4014. Let's see. When I get another set of drivers for my custom tender, yes, it will be powered. Interesting. I want to see that. That sounds like it'll be a cool one. Let's see. Russian steam on the Frisco. You got it. That's a great engine. And then I found out the reason it's so awesome is because it's MTH Premier. But with Lion, I mean, it's kind of a neat combination. Let's see. Put Jack on the Big Boy. I don't know, if he can get enough folks to say that we should put the dog on the back of the Big Boy, then I'll do it. Good afternoon, H&H Hobbies. What do I think of Alco diesels? I like them. They're especially like the older, like RS2, RS3s. And I have a set of FAs in MKT. Those are neat looking. It actually, they had to kind of grow on me. I was so used to the like. I see you back there, Big Boy, creeping on my passenger cars. But yeah, I'm so used to the front end of the F series, like the F3s and stuff like that, that the PAs and the FAs looked a little different, but I like them. Just finished shoveling after that storm. My condolences to your back. You should get some stock in Tylenol. Well, it's kind of neat. So I've got this random lamp that I keep putting in places because we haven't installed the lighting up above here yet. And it's backlighting all the engines as they come towards me. And they just look so cool coming around this mountain section over here. Hey, Mike. No, sorry. You said hey, Mike. Hi, Ed. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining us. Ever watched I Love Toy Trains? Fun fact, I actually had never watched I Love Toy Trains until YouTube / my kid. I had seen the commercials in the 90s like crazy, but you had to have parents that wanted to get you the VHS to be able to watch those. You couldn't just jump onto a streaming service and watch them. So yeah, I have only recently started to watch the I Love Toy Trains shows, but I was very familiar with the obnoxious commercials. Let's see. Heard the Banshee whistle. If it's the Banshee whistle I'm thinking of, might be this guy. Or that one might just be called a hooter. I don't know, I'm not very good with whistle names. But no, when we went to Strasbourg last fall, 89 had a whistle equipped to it that sounded a lot like this. I've been trying my best to use the quilling whistle feature to get that one to sing. Ah! Frozen reference. My wife would be proud. Let's see, I'm going to turn off that whistle we have on our mogul, our Rio Grande mogul, the Metka mogul, Little Green. Alright. Let's see, what am I missing? Which line of line chief set should I buy? I'd like to get the Polar Express and Switcher set. Which 080 switcher? They make the 080 switcher in everything. And I mean everything. So, you've got your pick of the mill, really. You can do whatever you want. They're great engines. They get the job done really well. I mean, we've got a UP one. Happy Wednesday, thanks. There are some older Lion Chief ones that have more running gear than the more modern, more simplified ones, and they look just like the legacy versions. Actually, I need to check. They might be the same thing, just with simplified electronics. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, add a small loop. We're not adding anything. My son would love to have every scale of train imaginable. And I told him we can do that when we go to the train mall. There's a local railroaders, Nebraska, Iowa railroaders. Hey, and if you're in the area, if you're in the Midwest, Nebraska, Iowa railroaders have their annual spring show. It's kind of like York, but for Omaha. They have their show in Pavilion on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, so check it out. I made a little commercial for them. I just want to help get the word out for my club, but I've got that video in my videos. We make a lot of videos. Just part of it is I just like making videos. I kind of always have. Got a Kato big boy, nice. Yeah, I saw a video on one of those. Those are really, especially for the size. It's amazing what they're doing with the end scale, but just trying to think about that just gives me arthritis. I'm really glad my big dumb sausage link fingers have O gauge to work on instead of little tiny. Oh gosh, I saw one where the rods and everything fell off the sides on a steam engine in N scale. I think it was even smaller. I think it was Z scale, and I literally could just feel just the anxiety of oh, I would hate to have to work on that. That would be terrible. Lion Chief or conventional? If you're asking about those 080s still, I think I mean, the conventional ones are cheaper, and I know there's a few out there. The 4500 one that we have that I converted to Lion Chief. There's a couple of those floating around for pretty cheap. I missed out. I was thinking of getting the Santa Fe one to be able to run at the club. It was a really good price. It was Lion Chief, and it had the nicer details. But I just didn't go for it. What I might do here, might do a little bit of switching action. Do you know the GP30 Forest 844? Yes. I actually don't really like that GP30 because it's the one that got 844 to have to change its number. I mean, if you're gonna go through the trouble to never remove an engine from your roster, if it's the living legend, if it's the ambassador for your railroad, then you should probably treat it a little bit nicer. Make a couple more exceptions for it. And eventually they wised up to that, but it still baffles me how Union Pacific ever stood for having an engine take 844's number. I'm sure it was some decision made in an office by somebody that doesn't care about trains. But we're actually going to get to see the living legend herself this May. I cannot wait to see that. All right. Before we get too far, I'm gonna... Oh, I have to go a little further than that. Go forward, please. Go forward. Don't have a crash on live. Thank you. I forgot I need more real estate to do what I'm... We back? We're back? Maybe? I see myself on the screen down here. Of course it happens while I'm trying to do something. All right. Let's show you what's going on over here. So I've been working really hard on this elevated line, but honestly, more of the work has gone underneath the elevated line. Okay. Cool. Let's see what you guys are saying first. Noah, yeah, we're going to Cheyenne to see it for depot days for 844. Thank you guys for filling me in about the audio and all that being gone. I don't know what happened. But thoughts on a CSX diesel? Well, for the same reasons I probably won't get that Amtrak that you asked about. I probably won't get a CSX because they didn't really exist around the time that we're trying to do this with. This is going to look so janky, but I'm going to steal this guy to trick the switch into it because I haven't rewired this switch yet. Leave a comment if you've done that before, where you've taken a car to trip the switch. So, you guys get to see what this little tunnel is capable of doing. The reason I went through the trouble to redesign the whole elevated line isn't just because I wanted to redo scenery and stuff up there and build it better, but so I could utilize the space underneath here better. Now, you'll see this in the video. You'll see this in the video tomorrow, but this is kind of a preview, I suppose, of that. 39 of you get a preview of the layout update video because you get to see what this thing's doing. So there are 3 Vision Line stock cars, and there's also 3 MTH reefer cars, 3 more Lionel Woodside reefer cars, and 3 more box cars, and the caboose that are all getting crammed into this. But right now it just doesn't really look like it's going anywhere because you can't see them looping around essentially the inside track of this elevated line. But here in a little bit, you will see the caboose coming around the corner and onto this line. Right now, this gives you the illusion of a double track main line. I am not cool enough to have a double track main line. Hardly have the one main line. But yeah, so this eventually, wow, I didn't realize how deep it's... What are we doing? Is he getting hung up on something? It shouldn't be. I hope not. I've done this before. Oh. Did it catch? I wonder. I might need to make a little adjustment in there because I just added some tunnel liners to this thing. And it feels like it's kind of getting hung up on those. Wow. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resistance on this right now. But coming out the other end, see that? Yeah. So this is this train. It's tucked neatly into here. And then switcheroony. And the big boy can park itself in the next section because those boxcars pretty much stop right about here. But there's another switch that they go off onto on the side. So this will back up. The speaker on this one gets weird when it reverses. Something to do probably with the wireless tether, with the information that it's getting. Yep. And then he just settles in there. And I can power off all that stuff with the flip of that switch. That didn't change at least. And now I don't have to keep track of so many trains. Neat. I'm going to bring it back down over here. Let's see. I probably missed a lot while I was doing that because I was paying very much so attention to that operation. But let's see. I'm going to keep the desert-looking mountain. Yeah, that wasn't really a desert mountain. That was unpainted, crinkled up paper. I did truthfully kind of like the look of that. But with the mountains back there, having desert mountain doesn't visually line up quite as well. So yeah, I went back to kind of the more granite-y kind of looking rock. Magic Tunnel, Brody's got it. We'll call it the Magic... Actually, I still call it the Bat Cave, because store all my cool gadgets in there. Like I have any cool gadgets. Let's see, what else did I miss? What if you get every single Hot Wheels train that were released, but in no scale? HO scale. No. I mean, we already saw... if you saw that video of the comparison of HO scale versus Hot Wheels trains, I have that little 060 switcher, and then we have the scale HO 060 switcher, and the sizes are pretty different. But yeah, no, I don't need to get the GPs and the Amtrak and stuff like that in HO just to show you. That'd be cool if we already had HO, but I don't. Kind of weird seeing the layout backwards. Oh yeah, I guess this kind of mirrors it right now, doesn't it? What's here is there. Oh, is Colin coming down? What's up, my trains? What? Why? No. Don't restart the computer in the middle of my live stream. thanks, but no thanks? Gosh. Microsoft. Shh, what are we gonna do? A hidden parking track. A guy we can respect. Oh, hey! Train board! It's funny, I read the comment first, but my brain didn't register who it was from. I was on your guys' live stream last night. Thanks for showing up. What's up, guys? I always have to wonder which version of train board I'm talking to. Is it Gary or Ryan? Is it Ryan or Gary? Is it Guyan or Rary? I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Cloverdale. Batcave. Marshall, yes, we're going to keep it. Santa Fe triplex will be equipped with Blue Nami because I don't have... That'll be really cool. Oh, man. EM and IR Productions working on that custom train there. It's March and still snowing. Yeah, it is crazy. Going to the April York show. I had planned on it. And then I thought it was Easter weekend, so I nixed that. And then I found out it wasn't Easter weekend, but we just have so much going on in April. And then in May, we're going to Cheyenne, Wyoming, to Depot Days to go see Big Boy in 844 and 951 and all that stuff. So there's a lot going on this spring, so I am skipping April York. It's so funny because like a year and a half ago, I saw all these folks going to York in the fall of 23. And so I made this funny little video about all these folks going to York, but it's too far away for me to go. And then the following spring I went. I never thought I'd go to York. I never thought I'd go twice. Because apparently when you go to York without your kid, he then wants to go. So then for his birthday last fall, we went. So I went to York 2 times. People are like, oh yeah, this must be easy for him. No, it's not easy to travel from Nebraska to Pennsylvania twice in this economy with travel prices the way they are right now. It's difficult for me to get out there. It is expensive, and it's difficult for me to take time off from work. And the time I do take off from work, I try and reserve for family vacations. It's great seeing you guys, but I'm gonna pick my family first every time. Let's see. Did you order Line Master Hudson's? Yes, I did. Hopefully they'll be here in May. But yeah, the pacemaker. Because I got enough black engines. I was thinking of doing the Dreyfus colored one, or Niagara. I don't know which one it is. Kind of the gray looking one that they did. That was a cool paint job too, but just really like the pacemaker. I feel like that's going to be a cool addition. So yeah, we'll finally have some NYC on my Midwest themed railroad. Whoops. Heard of the Altar Billies? Of course I've heard of them. They made entire songs about our favorite railroad and our favorite engine. If it wasn't a day trip, I doubt I would be able to do it. Yeah, I am mad jealous of location. If I lived anywhere closer to the East Coast, it would be so much easier to go to all those shows. Allentown, Greenburgh, York. Go visit the High Railers again in New Jersey before they tear that awesome thing down. Yeah, being located, being quadruple landlocked has its perks, but it does have its drawbacks. Let's see. I don't think I can make it to April York either, but definitely October. Might be going in October. Fingers and eyeballs crossed. I ordered the gray and the pacemaker, and the Halloween. Wow, that's cool. You really like Hudson's. I know a guy that really likes Hudson's. He's got spiky hair. He's less fat than I am. Yeah. New York Central, Pennsy, both in Chicago. Yep, technically it's a Midwest connection. And St. Louis for Pennsy as well. And speaking of Pennsy, if I remember and if I have time, I want to run a T1 duplex. But I feel like I need to grab its passenger cars. And Those are a little bit tricky to get to right now. Ooh, pretty sunset right now. Pretty sunset. You know what, guys? Come with me. Let's check out a pretty sunset in Nebraska. You weren't planning on seeing a sunset on a live stream about trains, were you? And you get to see a mess. Because I've been working on the layout. Oh, no, don't look at me. Look at it. No, over here. Oh, that's going to be cool. I don't know if it really comes. I mean, you can see some of the, a lot of the orange there, but it's much more pink in person. Guess while we're over here, a whole bunch of the stuff from the layout is out from underneath it because I was working on stuff up there with parts that I needed that were in storage underneath the layout. Ooh, that's really creepy without the trains there. That's a huge black abyss. But a bit of a preview, I suppose, of this number going on. So flat for now, adding some more mountain type terrain elements. But the main thing I wanted to work out, well, you'll see in the video, is all underneath all this stuff. And the tunnel, and I need to check that tunnel before I run more trains, because that kind of bothered me with the caboose getting snagged going through underneath there. There we go. You guys went handheld with us. That was fun. Yeah, you can still see the sunset over there. Nice. A little bit of a mess down here. Let's see, what did I miss? 611 is awesome. No argument there. I would love if Lionel, I mean, MTH makes him in Rail King. But as I've experienced with a certain Rail King that you may or may not have seen floating around here, the Rail King sizes, they let a little too much air out. I know Lion Master is sized down. I know everyone's like, whoa, my scale big boy is bigger than your Lion Master. Shut up. It's fine. It's plenty big. No one's in a measuring contest here. Maybe you are. But they just let a little too much air out of the Rail King designs. I put a Santa Fe 484 Northern next to one of my Lion Master big boys. And it looks like a Hudson with a longer tender and a few more wheels. It's way smaller. I wish they had pumped those proportions up a little more. SD40-2s. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that those are post-Steam, which is probably why I don't have them. That rule really limits a lot of stuff really quick. Plus my son thinks diesels are boring, so... I mean, the F3s are great because they look nice. That's kind of the thing I like about earlier diesels, is they got stylized. They didn't just say, hey, we just need it to work, okay? Can you stop with all the designing and curvature and making it look cool? We just need boxes, flat panels that are easy to access and replace when we screw things up. Can you do that for us? Yeah, that's cheaper for us too. Cool. And then diesels got boring. They're less neat to look at, I think. Modern diesels are still cool to see in person, but when you see all these cool designs on the layout together and then you throw a modern diesel on here, it looks about as exciting as a boxcar. Probably shouldn't have said about half of that, but there's only 32 of you in here that heard that, so we're okay. Somehow I've managed 22 likes. Thanks, guys. If you haven't had a chance to like the stream, give it a thumbs up, please. That stuff, I mean, it sounds trivial when all your YouTuber guys encourage you to do that, but it really does help with circulation stuff. And the algorithm is already throwing Eric's Trains and RBP and all those guys at mainstream audiences all the time. So when you do it for a smaller channel like mine, or anyone really that isn't, in the like 50,000 on up subscribers count, then it helps, because when you engage with that stuff, when you like, you comment, you subscribe, you interact, you share it, then that tells the robots at YouTube that, hey, people like this. When you watch it and then you're done, then yeah, you watched it. But that engagement stuff is so important these days for smaller channels. Especially, I notice some of you that are in here have smaller channels too. I try my best whenever I see stuff come through. It is tricky to keep up with all of it, but I do my best. But it's always best to try and engage with the smaller channels. It helps out a ton. Whoa! Speaking of, just jumped up to 30. There were there's just 12 likes just from that little rant. I thought you guys would have thought that was boring. Thank you. Seriously, it does help, because I do enjoy making videos regardless. I don't care what the topic is, which probably pisses off the algorithm, because it's like, last week you made a video about Nerf. Now you're making one about Hot Wheels. Now you're making one about trains. Your audience is confused. They shouldn't be confused. They should just know that I like making videos. That's part of the reason why I chose the name Dadified, is because it's not tied to a certain hobby. I can kind of do whatever I want with it. Hopefully you guys, she likes me for me. Hopefully you like me for me and not just my cool trains. I like my cool trains. I think I'm dumb, so I don't like me. But yeah, go to yes, Metro 161, you are absolutely right. We are going to go to the Illinois Railway Museum because I need to see 1630 in person. I need to see why the whistle's in the wrong spot. No, it's cool. Oh, speaking of liking channels, Radar Diddy just pointed out, Ed and Bettina just got 1K subs. So when you guys like stuff like they make, then, you know, they can grow and people can see more of it. And it's not even really about... to me, it's more about the exposure. Like, I don't like watching the same stuff every day. I like variety. I like seeing what other folks are up to. But when all we do is watch the same 5 channels, then we also tell the algorithm that those are the only 5 channels that exist. So, thanks for your support. Thanks for jumping on and hanging out with me on a Wednesday. I'm not usually here on a Wednesday because I'm usually at work, but they shut the whole city down because of... It was like a snow hurricane here. It was nuts. I thought the house was going to blow away several times, but still alive. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Buck. Don't change a thing. Don't change a... I feel like there's like a song in there somewhere. Good to support each other. Yes, yes. Thank you, Jody. Variety is good. Oh, Steam Rail Willie. He's just up the road from me. Oh, Old Ohio Angler has been to the Illinois Railway Museum. That's so cool. Oh. I'll read this one to you guys in case it's hard to see. In the future, first of all, hello, future self. I hope you're doing well. Future commenters, I hope you're doing well too. But I enjoy seeing your relationship with your son and how you both are exploring trains together. My son is 7 months old, and I can't wait to experience it all with him. Donald, thank you for that comment. I get a lot of stuff like this, and honestly, stuff like that kind of helps keep me going with it. But, not even really as a word of caution, but maybe it is. Let your kids enjoy whatever it is that they want to, and then just latch on to whatever they're going for. I see a lot of parents that, like, a buddy of mine was really into cars. And so he has a son. Cars, perfect. And he's throwing all this car stuff at him. Car stuff, car stuff, car stuff. And his son really likes Ninja Turtles. Which, I mean, there's like a car in there. It's a van. But I feel like the only reason his son has an inkling to... Like, maybe he'll get annoyed by it to a point. So that passion that you have for whatever hobby you have, whether it's trains or cars or Ninja Turtles or whatever, enjoy it with your kids. But be careful not to push it onto them, because sometimes they push it away when you just serve it up to them all the time. I had somebody ask, how'd you get your son into trains? I was already into trains before, but then I was really into cars. And then my son was born, and then he started getting into trains, and I got back into it because of him. Now, I see that story happen a lot with guys my age and such, and Dell Hudson, that do this sort of thing, where they've gotten back into trains because of their kids. And it's a really interesting dynamic to see. It all kind of comes back at some point. Like, what if your son grows out of trains? I have a feeling he'll grow back into it when he has kids of his own. And it almost made me cry the other day. My son was like, Dad, when I have kids, I want to ride 4014 with him. And I'm like, cool, you think he'll like that? Yeah, because I love doing train stuff with you. And, oh man, it's a great feeling. I don't really know how to follow that up. See you later, guys. Let's see. I've missed a lot of stuff. Oh, there's a bunch of cool people here. For recent comments. Oh, speaking of, let me scroll up. All right, let's see. What did I miss? Like U-boats? Do I like U-boats? I mean, I watched K-19, the Widowmaker. That's a Russian bigger boat. It's not the Untersee boot. All right, I'm missing stuff. It's okay. Ah, thanks Ed for talking about the UP theme here. I like the Penzi, but there is a lot of Penzi in the world, but I don't know. It's kind of hard not to do Penzi when you're into trains. I get a lot of flack for, oh, you like Big Boy. Everyone likes Big Boy. Well, at least it's just down the road from us, you know? It's somewhat relevant. I'm not like in Massachusetts and in love with Big Boy, which is fine if you are. Daniel the Train Nerd says hi. Hi. How are you? Hope you're having a great evening. Train board's still on here. Oh, Brody's in here. Metra, Jody Smith, hoping Lionel brings back the Lion-Master Big Boy because the price of the Lion-Master Big Boy Sherman Hill set is crazy. Yes. It's good to note, though, if you're looking, Jody, for a Lion-Master Big Boy, that they did do earlier runs of them, and those are usually less expensive than the Sherman Hill set. Part of what drives up the price of the Sherman Hill set is it's a set. It comes with more than just the Big Boy. You've got cars and stuff with it, and also just kind of like the rarity of it. When I was first looking for Lion Master, I thought that was the only Big Boy set that they made was the Sherman Hill one. And then I found a whole bunch more. There's an early TMCC one, 4024. There's the first run of Legacy Big Boys in Lion Master. That was from 2008. Then there's another run they did of them in 2011. And then 2019, they did several of the Lion Chief Plus 2.0 versions. So, yeah, you've got a lot to search for still, even if they don't make another run of Lion Master Big Boys anytime soon. There's one directly above my head. That was SAR 4014. Little upset. Sorry, bud. It's just, let's see. I don't know if I can go up far enough while so the trouble is, as I'm reading the comments and they're going up, if I try and scroll up and find more, then it just kind of keeps scrolling up and it's hard to find what you're what you're trying to tell me. So try one more time here. I'm looking. Actually record a video. You record a video just now of even your live stream, but can you make a video about Jack? I mean, I could. It'd be a very short video. I could make a short about Jack and about how he's on all the buildings that are over here. That's more of a Menards thing than it is my railroad thing. I've actually recently discovered that Jack comes off really easily because he's just held on there by a little bit of hot glue. So I can just remove him. And in this case, that's the whole reason we have that jack. But there's like 7 other jacks. The town has been overrun by German Shepherds. Thankfully, they're all trained. The town is very safe. No one messes with the German Shepherds. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, someone actually named Lion Master in here. That's awesome. You must like Lion Masters. You might like them more than I do, which is saying something because I adore... Here, check the... Ooh, I should show you guys the new lighting. Hang on. Okay. If you can tell from the glow coming from over here, I'll move ya. And then let's go reverse. I like Lion Master too. So this lighting that's going around the bottom part of all of this used to be my effect lighting for the elevated line. And I was using it to actually see around when I was dismantling this thing. And then I realized, hey, this has got a sticky end to it. I can just stick it to this, and that'd be cool. I think it turned out pretty great. Yeah. Let's see. Got a couple Lion Masters in here, obviously. Come down. You guys can check those out while I read some of the comments that I just missed. Hello. Mike, taking a look at the new Lincoln rail cam. I haven't looked at any of the rail cams. I guess I don't know how. I would Steam Rail Willie, I'm with you on the Lion Master 844. I think at some point I was trying to mention that earlier. Folks, if I miss a comment, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up here. But no, I think they should make Lion Master, here, if I can see where I'm pointing. They should make, they made all articulateds, you know? I know the T1 technically isn't an articulated, but bear with me here. They did make the Hudson. And that's not an articulated, it's just a slightly scaled down, but still big and nicely proportioned and nicely detailed version of that engine that can run around tighter turns. In the same vein as Rail King, but with better details and better proportions. And if they made a 484 chassis, they could do 844, they could do Santa Fe 2926, 3751, all the Santa Fe Northerns, really. There's a whole bunch they could do with a 484. They could do the Daylight. They could do a J-Class. They could do a bunch of cool stuff. And I think that would be a really great way forward for the Lion Master line. More than just recycling these designs, because they've remade Challengers a bunch. They've remade the Class A a few times. They've remade the Pennsy T1 Duplex. They've only done 2 runs of that, but still. They're getting some mileage out of these, but they could get so much more mileage if they just had a chassis of a 484 that they could just throw bodies on top of in different tenders and generic internals because Lion Chief, because that's what they do. Heck, they even have generic on Legacy now these days, so that's what they do all the time. But yeah, that could really be cool, and I think that'd be easier for Lionel to produce more new models on a consistent basis without having to put all new parts at all of them. As I talk with my hand. What did I miss? Dreyfus. Oh, that'd be cool too. Oh, especially since they have the Hudson already. Gosh, why didn't I think of that? Good thinking. Your local, everything to... Oh, thanks. It's really in Motor Railway and has a massive HO scale layout. Nice. HO's cool. See, my mom at her office today because she had a short day at school. Well, helped my wife today because she had no school. She's a teacher. So, see, what am I taking? I'm catching up here now. Wow, I've missed a lot of comments trying to get caught up. My condolences, folks. Blue Nami and a Rail King Y6B. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I should do that because I can't fit a Y6B around here. Adding in the Amtrak. Nope. Nope, too new for what we're doing here. But we do have the Amtrak in that Hot Wheels, which is cool. Soldering the speaker to my Blue Nami decoder. Oh, I won't bother you then because I've messed up lots of wiring jobs. Yes, I have been to House of Trains. Nearly, probably about 80% of the fast track that's around our layout is because of House of Trains. So if you ever see them out of fast track, it's probably because I bought a bunch. Here, let's just come back here. Since I'm not running them, it's too hard to run trains and keep up with all the comments. I don't know how the cool guys do it. Let's see. Alright, we'll make a video about Jack. It'll probably be a short, because it'll be, this is Jack, and here's all the buildings he's on. The end. There's no backstory about Jack other than that it's the dog of the guy that owns Menards. And the guy that owns Menards likes O-gauge trains. And so he makes O-gauge trains and buildings, and all the buildings have Jack. And now we've come full circle. Hey, Lou. Welcome to the stream. Wow, there's 45 of you in here. Thank you. A Wednesday night. Who thought? Who would have thought? I told my wife, like, I should probably give some folks some sort of heads up because I'm thinking of doing a live stream. And she's like, I don't know if we're going to have power on in the house because the lights flickered a few times while we were here. So yeah, I was worried that we wouldn't have power to be able to do this. I could still live stream probably off of cellular service, maybe, probably not. But it definitely can't run trains. Or turn on the lights or show you guys layout updates. Hey, NorCal Railroader, let's see, if it's 8 o'clock here, oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock already. If it's 8 o'clock here, what time is it in California? I don't have a Jack on the floor. She is much smaller than a German Shepherd. Do have a bunch of videos of Daphne doing funny things around the house. Mostly eating my son's leftovers when I'm not looking. Those are fun. Powered Trains remotes have a sticker of Jack. I did not know that, Steamrail Willie. Thank you. Make a video about the Thomas line... Oh, the Thomas line of Lionel? I don't have any of those. We have enough Thomas in Trackmaster. Don't need any more. I love Thomas, don't get me wrong. But, yeah. If you guys have seen any of our Trackmaster stuff, Thomas for days. It's so funny. My son and I have been watching Thomas again. And, you know, usually the kids like the CGI ones because their mouths move and there's a little more action and blah, blah, blah. But he has seen, and he does still like, the original model, like, real-life Thomas ones. Like, the first... I don't know how many seasons they did like that, but at least the first 5 or 6 seasons. The George Carlin days, we'll just say that. And I showed him one because he was asking about Celebrity, the Celebrity train, the City of Truro that was on there. And so I showed him that one, and he was asking, Dad, are these models? I'm like, yeah, son. I showed him some shots of the studio. They make these sets. They make all the scenery. They make the trains. They have remote control eyes. It's cool. What size models are those? I suppose they're probably close to G scale, from what I remember. And so now, when he wants to watch Thomas, he specifically tells me, Dad, let's watch G scale Thomas. So that's been fun. New train look on Mystery Interactive? I don't know what that is, Karsten. Did I miss something earlier? I might have. It's 9 p.m. in Philly, yes, the East Coast. But oh wait, did I miss where he said what time it's 6 p.m. There it is. Thanks, Marshall. How supportive was your wife when I said I was going to build the layout? Initially, she was worried about the space that it was going to take up because I had kind of mocked it up on the floor. She's like, as long as you can sit on the couch and watch TV, you can do whatever you want. And I kind of pitched it to her where like, well, we'll pick up storage underneath all this stuff. We can store things underneath. So even though we're losing the bookcase and we're losing this and we're losing that, we're going to pick up all these places to store things. I didn't tell her it would all be boxes of train stuff. But no, she's been really supportive. I will say that if she wasn't supportive, that none of this would be here. So this is a sign of her love and support. And of me being an absolute maniac with this. No, it's my son. He's my enabler. He made me do it. He made me get these awesome woodside reefers that, oh, they're in there now. He made me do it. He pulled my arm behind my back and made me get the trains, get all the trains. So much Thomas stuff when I was little, not even funny. Yep. Think a lot of us are in that boat. You think we at train board... Do I think you at the train board, Ryan and Gary, should do a Tuesday Thomas live stream? Yes. But I think you guys should do all the live streams because you have such an incredible setup. If you guys watching, all 46 of you, if you guys are watching and you haven't seen the train board, just for the live streams themselves, they are engaging, they are fun, they have lots of cool stuff, they have all these cool camera angles, they even have a counter that shows like the subscriber count and everything. It's such a production. I am truly impressed by their work. So go check them out if you haven't already. Trainboard, Gary and Ryan are awesome. Huge Thomas fans. They've been to Strasbourg and rode the Thomas there and all that stuff. Lots of cool videos on that. Let's see. How are my FTs working? Well, I put them on the track and I make them go and they work. No, they're working pretty good. I feel like they're not as happy with these extruded aluminum passenger cars behind them as they were the plastic MTH cars that they had before. But they're doing good. Yeah, they seem to pull all right. They do, and I think it's because of the weight again. They do take their time a little bit around some of the turnaround sections because it's a lot of weight that is trying to pull around that corner, and so sometimes their speed control gets a little wonky because, oh, it's easier to go. Phew. Yes, NorCal Railroader. It is an AC-12. It's actually the same AC-12 that's been preserved, 4294. I want to see that one in person. I hear it's an awesome example, and sadly the only example of a cab forward. I want to see that. And we're back. But yeah, originally we are going to do HO, and a little fragile, a little small for a 3-year-old. None of the boxes for model trains say age appropriate for 3-year-olds, but the Lionel Junction that we got for Christmas for him, he loved that. He had a lot of fun with it. And then Dad found out that there's all this fast track, all this stuff, all these additions, all these cars, all this cross-compatible stuff. I can still run that little Lion Chief engine around with all these cool engines. The cars, too. They all work together. So yeah, that's kind of what got us into O-Gauge, is a little bit easier for him to work with. Yeah, it's a little more kid-friendly, it seems like. New train of RPB, I imagine you mean RBP, but yes, the new Atlantic. I thanked Chris for doing a steam engine that you can run on smaller layouts. The Atlantic's perfect. It's a little pricey, but it's a good choice. The 10-wheeler that Eric did was a great choice too, if I hadn't already got a 10-wheeler. He's doing the Vision Line Hudson. Kind of bummed. Can't run the Vision Line Hudson here. I would have loved to see somebody do the custom run of the using the Lion Master Hudson that's coming out, but apparently you need to have like a much higher quantity of engines for that. But maybe especially since RBP loves Hudson so much, maybe that would have been a better one for him. That would have been cool. Eric Strains has the Scale Hudson. RBP has the Semi-Scale Lion Master. That would have been cool. L gauge. I haven't heard of that before either. O gauge battery. Yes, I've seen those. That's going to be a great entry point for folks getting into the hobby. Brody's back. I need to start wrapping it up here because it's getting close to bedtime for the little guy upstairs. Oh, notification. There we go. But yeah, to all 48 of you hanging out with us here, thank you so much for chilling with me tonight. In this case, literally, because all the snow that we got today. I'll try and give you guys a little more heads up the next time I do a live stream. But there's a 3 Rails for Dads one that's coming up on April 18th. We haven't announced it yet, but I'm telling you now. I'm not going to tell you who our guest is, but it should be a really great pre-York show. We'll just say that. So thank you for watching and joining us tonight. Leave a like if you haven't already on your way out. Hit the subscribe if you haven't been here before. Thanks for joining us. And I'll get to work on that video about Jack. Thanks, guys. How do I end this thing? Forgot. Boop.